Welcome students. Welcome to the video lectures of C Programming Language. Now today we will discuss about a very interesting and a very easy topic, which is arithmetical operators. In our previous video lectures, we have discussed that what are tokens and what are the basics of programming language. Now among those tokens, there is one type of token known by the name of operator. Among those operator, there are various types of operator. Among them, one type is the arithmetical operator, and the remaining other types of operator we will discuss in our later videos. Okay, so let's focus on the concept of what is known as the name of arithmetical operator. Now students, what are arithmetical operators? Arithmetical operators are the plus, minus, into, divide and the modular division sign. This is the sign of modular division, students, and this is the sign of normal division in C programming language. Now students, the term arithmetical operator, okay, arithmetical term we have listened in our mathematics too. Now is that the two things similar? Yeah, to a certain extent, but not enough, because that subject is mathematics and this is C programming. So but their calculations will be same. So in mathematics we use the addition sign for adding two numbers, subtraction sign for subtracting two numbers, and multiplication sign for multiplying two numbers, which is similar to that in C programming language. Okay, but in mathematics there exists only one kind of division, which you know by the sign of this one. This is the sign of division, as you know, in mathematics. But in C programming language, the sign of division is of two types. One will be the normal division and the other will be the modular division. Okay, now as I've already introduced about two types of division in C language, after that we will discuss the difference between them. Now what is a normal division and what is a modular division all about? See students, normal division provides us the result in quotient. You can easily read the statement that on performing arithmetical operations using normal division results in giving quotient value to the user. The quotient value here is underlined because it serves as a keyword while writing in your examination papers, and this word will serve as providing you marks. Okay, is that clear students? Now that quotient means what? Now some students will in fact ask that, sir, what do you mean by the term quotient? Sir, what do you mean by remainder? Okay, there may be some questions regarding this. So clearing this question, I would really say that suppose dividing a number 4 by 2. Okay, dividing a number 4 by 2. So how do you divide it? Taking up 4 here, bringing up 2 here and writing here 4. So here it will give 0. Okay, so this 2 is your quotient and this is your remainder. Most of the students will know, but before starting from the basics we should again revise, we should again take in our mind. So that is why I have just done your revision. Now the normal division will return the quotient to the user when we will use it. But modular division, here students, the maximum number of questions comes from the modular division topic. Okay, now what is modular division? On performing arithmetical operations using modular division results in giving remainder value to the user. So using modular division will give the remainder value, and using the normal division will give the quotient value. So in C programming language, a user can in fact get the quotient value, or he can also get the remainder value. Now you can easily see that here is a code written. Okay, let us first remove our logo. Now it is okay to see. Now in the code which is being written here, in the first line you will see that the preprocessor directive, okay, hash include is the preprocessor directive, and stdio.h is being written as because in this class we can include by writing this stdio.h we can use the printf and our scanf functions. The printf function, the name itself print, suggests you that to print something on the screen. Here we will tell the user to enter a number to check which will be included in our printf statement. And int is a keyword, as you know from our previous video lectures, and a, x and y are written according to the rules of the variable, so that, and hence it becomes a variable. And scanf, why scanf is used in C programming language? Scanf first of all can only be used after we write stdio.h. This statement, after writing this we can write the printf and the scanf statements. Now in the scanf statement there arises a format specifier which is %d. Okay, that for integers, for printing integers, for entering the value in integers, okay, we will have to use the modulus d, which is being written here. It is a format specifier. For printing the float functions we will have to use the modulus f. Now for printing the character functions, for printing the character variables, we will have to use the %c. Now again giving a comma operator here, and ampersand ampersand refers to the address that where the variable will be stored. It is all being told in the previous video lectures. Okay, that ampersand means the address, that is the memory allocated to the RAM, the variable, that is the name allocated to the variable in the random access memory present in our central processing unit. Now here you can see that I have done certain arithmetical calculations, that x is a variable which I have assigned here, taken equals to a modulus of 2. So this will return, so this statement, line number 7, the value of x stored will be as the remainder value, and it will depend upon the value entered by the user. The value of a which is being entered by the user will depend upon the value of x. Now students, suppose the user enters the value as 4. Now if the user enters the value as 4, so what should be the modular? So after modular division, what should be the value returned to the x? The value returned should be 0, as I've already shown you. And in the line number 8 you can see that y equals to a normal division of 2. So the normal division returns a quotient value to the user. So the user gets the value of quotient. Okay, so a, suppose entered by the user is 4. So after remainder he will get the value of x stored as 0 and the value of y stored as 2 as the quotient. So now we will have to show on the output, on the screen, the output. So the modular division, %d will be x and the normal division will be y. And as we have used the int main function, so we will have to, at the end we will have to write the return 0. If we are using the void main function, then there is no requirement of writing the return 0. Okay, hope it is clear students. Now let's proceed that what are the limitations of using the modulus operator. This is also a very important question students. You know that sometimes in your examinations they will ask that what state the limitations of using the modulus operator with certain examples. Okay, so please write this definition for getting marks. Now, what is the first limitations of using modulus operator? Ask to yourself by pausing the video that what can be the limitations of using the modular division. It is simple that if we divide 4 by 2, then this 2, if this value 2, if the denominator 2 is 0, then can we divide? Then it should result in infinity. So hence we cannot divide. So it is a limitation of the modulus division that the denominator must not be 0. Okay, it is clear, students? Now students, moving to our next point of the modular division, that the modular division is only used for calculating the remainder value of the two integer variables. It cannot be used for calculating the remainder value of the two floating point numbers or the real numbers, as you know. So after this statement, after this point, you will definitely ask that, sir, then for floating point numbers in C programming language, is there something that we can that it can be used to calculate the remainder of the two floating point numbers? Definitely yes. It is known as f mod function. It is known as f mod function. Okay, we will discuss it in our next slide. Clear? Hope students it is clear that for calculating the two floating point numbers we use the f mod function, and the modular division cannot be used to calculate the remainder of the two integer variables. Okay, so examples of the floating point numbers, it is not required to be told, but still I am telling that 3.5, 4.55, okay, they are the floating point numbers. Now a very important result which is being noted after many trials, that the sign of the result obtained using the modulus operator will always depend upon the first operand. That means what? That means what? That means a user can wish, if he wishes to print a negative remainder on his output screen, then he will use this rule, then he will make the benefit of this rule. So suppose here the user enters like this -14, okay, and if the modulus operation is done by them, then you will get returned as -2. So this minus sign will give minus sign in your answer, and if there exists a minus sign, suppose you are writing modulus operation of 2, if there is a minus sign here, the answer will be 2, because the value of the result will depend upon the sign of the first operand. It should be made clear in your mind that the value of the operand, that the value which we are getting will depend upon this value of the first operand. Okay, and modulus operator is a binary operator. The two operands are written on both the sides of it. Clear? Now let's move to our next slide of understanding that what is an f mod function. Now students, as we have moved to the next slide, you can also see that what is the f mod function. I would recommend you to pause this video and first learn all the points. I hope students that you have paused the video, and now I am going to discuss you about the f mod function. Now students, in the case of calculating the remainder value of the two floating point numbers, we have to use the f mod function. This I have discussed you in the previous slide only. Okay students, now let's proceed. That f mod function is used to calculate the remainder of the two floating point numbers. Now definitely a question will be there in your mind, that what can be the syntax of the f mod function. The syntax of the f mod function is, we have to write like in this way, or there will be a syntactical error, that f mod bracket float x comma float y. Please get remembered in your mind that it is only the format of writing the f mod function. Clear? You can also see that in this code that which I have done for you all people, that see the general syntax of f mod function. See, result is equal to f mod x comma y, where x is a floater variable input made by the user in float, and y is also in float. So the result variable is also is a float variable. So this is the general syntax of the f mod function. So now another characteristic of f mod function is that f mod function is only defined in math.h header file. As students, as I have earlier told you, that printf and scanf function is defined in stdio.h header file, but for using the f mod function, that is for calculating the remainder value of the two floating point numbers, you will have to use another header file, which is math.h. Okay, is it clear? Now the same rule as the previous one of the modulus operator, this rule that is the sign of the first operand will determine the result, which is either positive or negative. So this is in similar with the modulus operator and the f mod function, that the value of the first operand will determine the result. Suppose if the first operand is negative, like minus 14, f mod minus 14 comma 2, so the value obtained will be minus 2. Okay, I hope students it is clear. Now you should also remember that all the arithmetical operators are binary operators, which mean they operate on two operands. So binary operators are those operators which operate on two operands. In the later video lectures, we will discuss about the ternary operators and the unary operators. Thank you students. Please like, share and subscribe for more such videos, and the subscription button is free. You can easily press the subscription, okay, and press the bell icon after subscribing the video. Please like it, as it will increase my confidence of building up more new videos for you. Thank you.